Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
Yo, hello, welcome. It is the KVJ After the Show podcast for Wednesday. What's up?
Podcast.
Yeah.
I think you have to do that for the rest of for eternity, right? You can't just do, hey guys, it's a podcast. I think you're gonna let people down.
I'm doing my best, man.
No, I think you're doing it great.
Yeah. Okay, we'll keep it up.
Yeah, I think we got to keep the streak going.
That's what you think it needs. Let's do it.
You're not allowed to stop.
Hey, look, I'm just a small town kid from Lake Park. I don't know.
I get it, man. I get it.
He's just a small town boy.
Well, boy, we got a lot of reaction today. You never know what is going to set people off. Talking about service animals today and emotional support animals.
I knew.
Hot button on people.
I knew some of the things Virginia was saying, and I guess myself, but maybe the way she was saying them, I knew we were going to get a reaction.
I came in hot today, and I make no apologies for said heat.
Yeah, there was some ups.
Yeah, they are. Are they calling me or Virginia out or both or separately?
I don't know if it's anybody individually. It's kind of like more as a blanket.
If it's my heat, I'll take it.
Yeah, we were just talking about, there were a couple stories, if you missed the regular show today, about some of these, I think they were like the emotional support animals, but there was a pit bull at the Orlando airport that bit somebody in line for JetBlue Airway. There was somebody's emotional support pig, 70-pound pig, apparently went crazy when it was in the aisle, and they tethered it to the seat. And
I mean,
had to,
70 pounds?
Yeah.
Rocco's like 30 pounds, so imagine like a pig.
Mm-hmm.
That's huge.
Well, then we were talking about, people that have them and what you had to do and some of the classes and training that the animals have to go through, and that's great, and people definitely do need them without a doubt. But then, we had heard from people that were, doing stuff online. It was just kind of like a big, they're cutting corners, and it was just kind of an act. It wasn't necessary. They just want to have their pets with them.
That's what we're talking about. Of course,
Yeah.
If somebody needs something and they're in desperate need of that gets them through life.
If it's a trained service dog, like those dogs that detect when you're having a seizure, so right before it, they warn the parents that the kid's
Yeah.
about to have a seizure, like that dog can go anywhere.
But I know for a fact I've been diagnosed with agoraphobia and panic disorder and a lot of that stuff, and maybe I need a service animal. My whole point was, if I needed a service animal to get on a plane and that service animal was going to disrupt everybody else, I'm not going to get on the plane, is what I'm saying.
I think that's the kind way and the thoughtful way, if you care about others, to look at it.
That's if it's going to fuck other people over.
Yeah, I'd say when a dog is biting you, your day is pretty fucked.
Mm-hmm. Jennifer sent in this post on Facebook. She was trying to get through, and we didn't get her call in today. She says, I was on hold trying to join your conversation about the emotional support animals. I was so disgusted by your conversation that I decided to hang up. I understand that there are some people who take advantage of the situation, but there will always be those that abuse the system. I suffer from severe anxiety disorder and have an emotional support animal. The way you belittled individuals like myself was absolutely disgusting. You have lost a listener and should be ashamed of your behavior.
That was all Virginia's comments. Mm-hmm. Look, I have the same issue she's talking about. I really do. You guys have seen it.
I just think when you bring your animal on the airplane and you sit next to me and you don't care that I have allergies, we have a fucking problem. So, sorry, what weighs more, your emotions or my allergies? Well, you're telling me that your emotions matter more than my allergies. And I would never tell anybody that.
I think maybe it's the way you were saying things.
Sorry, I'm not sugarcoating it for you or anybody. This is what it is.
I believe we're down 5 more listeners.
We're gonna
right,
get
Denny?
some.
Is that the listener count? Down, Suit said 6, down 6.
We're gonna get some more emails.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, down a few.
You were sassy today.
I don't care. I had a rough day.
Someone else texted in and said, I am a professor at a local university. We have so many students with emotional support animals who bring them to class. They jump up and they'll walk them to the back of the room. One woman dressed her dog in a top hat and a bow tie and then let it drink from the water fountain. It was so gross and distracting.
Well, I think that's what we're talking about. Is there's got to no one wants.
It's lawless.
Nobody wants the person that doesn't truly need one to have a top hat and have it licking the fucking water.
It's drinking from the water fountain.
because you just want your pet. That's not fair for the other people in the class if you don't truly need an emotional pet.
Poor teacher trying to teach a class with all this.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's just cases where, obviously some people need it. We got Christine. They got a emotional support monkey that detects like blood sugar, which, I mean, that's amazing and saving lives. And I think it's just that fine balance. It's just, okay, who really needs it and who doesn't really need it. And, probably just let's make sure that everybody's doing the right kind of like paperwork. I mean, we got several different examples of people that were going online and just printing up stuff or making up fake stuff, and they didn't really have it, and they're abusing the privilege. It's just with anything out there. You can fill in the blank of abusing the privilege.
No, you're right. That's really what it comes down to.
And multiple people showed us, here's the website where you go to buy the fake service dog vest for $60 you can put on your dog.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so anyway, that was a big old hot button today. As people were sending stuff in.
Sometimes things gotta get fired up, Kev, I guess.
I hear you, man. That's what it is. Got to dip into it every now and then. Another big local controversial topic. They said that after months of debate, Hollywood commissioners in Florida here are expected to sign off on a plan to change street names after Confederate war heroes. The names that they had was John Bell Hood, Robert E. Lee, and Nathan Bedford Forrest, also known as the first Grand Wizard of the KKK. So after 91 years, those street names are going to be changed to Freedom, Hope, and Liberty.
Wow.
Yeah, you got to get rid of the KKK peeps. That's just disgusting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that was another big thing in the news today. Got this email from Julie. And you can see where this might be kind of a tough situation that she is going through. She did not want to come on the KVJ show. So she would rather us just read this on the After the Show podcast. And that's fine. We prefer to have people on the show and on the regular show if we can put you there. But if not, then send us an email and let us know that you just want to do the After the Show, and we'll get you hooked up there. It's about this strange first date that she went on, and how would you handle this strange first date that she went on? She said here, this past Saturday, I went on a blind date with a guy who brought his severely disabled sister, whom he cares for. He said he wanted to put it out there right away because...
First date?
First date. On a blind first date.
Wow.
Yes. Whom he cares for. He said he wanted to put it out there right away because they came as a package deal. I was speechless. Now, I do find what he's doing commendable, but I still couldn't help myself trying to find ways to escape the date. I feel so shallow, and I'm struggling with the whole thing as he continues to try to call me. He seems like a great guy, but this just sounds like too much too soon. Am I right to just be honest with him, or does that make me sound bad?
I don't think anybody should bring anybody with them on a first date and try to force it down your throat. I mean, I would include kids with that. I would include any siblings, any family member. Like, you're not looking to date two people.
I think with anything, it's, there's a dance, there's tact, there's, reading something. Remember when you used to go try to ask your mom for that toy?
There's an approach to it.
The best thing to do was to go up and be nice and sweet and give her the eyes and say something sweet to your mom. And then, Mom, could I? And then you finally got around to it. And I think it's those kind of similar traits, they will carry on because we're just humans and it's human nature. And so, yeah, as she's saying in this, she finds it commendable. It's great. And
this guy's just doing it all
thinks
wrong.
He's a good guy, but it's like he's trying to come right out of the chute and say, hey, you got to know right now, let's not waste any time. I've got a severely disabled sister. Here she is. And she's going to be a big part of life. So if you're going to date me, get used to going on dates with me and my sister. And this is what it is. I don't want to waste your time. And
I don't think she needs to feel bad about it because she
No.
doesn't even know the guy. It's not like she's, bailing out on a guy she's known for 10 years.
He's doing it wrong. And, I mean, you would be doing him a favor if you broke it down and said, look, you got to wait for somebody to get to know you and decide if they want to date you. And then you say, hey, my sister's a package deal. And then, of course, you guys all do stuff together. I think that would be beautiful. Mm-hmm. You don't force something down somebody's throat on a first date.
Well, first dates
before they even know you.
First dates are awkward as it is, and
Thank
you
you.
do have to get to know the person that you're trying to get something going with first.
Yeah. As tough as that might be, because it puts you in a weird, awkward situation, and last thing you want is to all of a sudden he turns it on you and puts you on blast, and be like going, "I thought so."
Yeah, that's not
He's-
cool.
I'm not surprised.
He's a dirtbag if he does that.
I agree. And so I think probably what I'd say is be like, "Hey, I find it very commendable what you're doing, and I think that you're a great guy. But it's a lot real fast. I would
too
like to
much.
try to spend some time getting to know you a little bit and understand. I appreciate that. I understand that's going to be a big part of who you are, but I got to find out if I like you first.
I think,
and then,
I think a lot of times when things go wrong in dating, I think too much too fast is always, it's not always a great thing.
You are right. The biggest mistakes are too much, too fast.
That's when if I go on a first date with somebody and all of a sudden they immediately within, by the appetizer, they're telling me about their ex and everything the ex did wrong and he did this and then you're not going to, and they just
He was abusive.
They tell everything. It's almost like, okay, can we wait till maybe the nachos cool down?
well, exactly. You got to draw someone in first.
Of course.
And then-
make them fall in love with you. Tell her about your sister and
Yeah.
how active you are in your sister's life. That is one of the first things you say about yourself.
I think the guy will just have better success at dating if he does it that way.
and
Absolutely.
for him, it'd probably be a good, lesson. And, that might be probably the best thing. It'd be an awkward, tough conversation, but you'd probably be.
Somebody
first of all-
needs to tell him because
Yeah.
he's doing it wrong and he's going to chase off a lot of really great girls doing it this way and shaming them and making them feel bad.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, he's doing a beautiful thing.
He is doing a beautiful thing, but he's just doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Well, the approach of dating, I think he's doing it not correctly.
And I think he could, probably, I'm sure say, hey, look, this even on the first date, say this is what I do and this is my
Yeah.
reality.
Oh
But-
yeah, you
This
could.
is my life. Show pictures of this sister and say, look, I'd love to, if we got serious, do dates with the three of us. And who wouldn't want to do that?
I think that is a first date conversation you could have. Maybe not right off the bat, but as you guys are sitting and talking to each other, and if you guys are hitting it off, I think that's a very good first date to let them know that.
Absolutely.
Let me see. We're talking a little bit earlier about Justice League going to be coming out this weekend. Probably not a movie I'm going to go rush out to see. I'm getting close to, if I had the time and the opportunity, maybe going and taking my son to go see the new Thor movie that's out. I've heard more good than I have bad. I mean, today I talked about it. One person was like, yeah, it's great. The other person was like, it's awful. So I was like,
You got to get to Twitter Mike and ask him.
yeah.
Because he is the expert.
I think I probably want to see that, and I'm really holding out. Realistically, the next movie I see in the theater is going to be the new Star Wars, and I'd like to see it out pretty quick.
Me too. I'm pretty friggin' excited for that thing.
But, I'm always seeing if you go, however it is you stream movies or however you watch stuff, to me, I go to Xfinity, I go to the movie section. Sometimes I use like the iTunes movies, but you see all these titles that were familiar and you're just like, I don't know, is that going to be like worth watching? I know of it, but I don't know, should I see it? And then sometimes at the back of your head, they're going, I think that movie is a bomb. But that doesn't always mean that it's a movie that is going to be unwatchable. In fact, they put together a list of box office bombs that are actually great. And I think it's kind of an interesting list. Movies like Blade Runner, which they just did a sequel to, which I think that bombed as well. But the movie in 1982, obviously a lot of people liked it. They decided to remake it. It just came under clearing the money. So it lost money, but not by a ton. Fight Club. I've never seen that movie. One with Brad Pitt from 1999.
I've never seen it either.
Yeah, I know. You know that line. The first rule of Fight Club is don't talk about Fight Club. Everybody knows the line, but how many people have seen the movie? I haven't seen it.
Danny stands by it. Says it is an excellent movie.
It's just a little bit too much for me. I know the premise of it, and
Yeah.
I just don't want to see people punching each other for no reason.
It was a bomb. $63 million budget. It cleared 37.
Ooh.
Yeah. So it didn't do well, but you hear about, for a movie that is that awful, it's amazing that, you hear that much about it.
I believe Office Space was a big time bomb in the theater, and then they released it to Blockbuster and all the rentals back in the day, and it went. It got such a cult following, and now it's considered a classic. Have you guys ever seen Office Space?
Never.
Oh my, Virginia, you would.
That's the one with the weird boss, and he was always like, talking to him. They got the cubicles. Yeah.
Have
Jennifer Aniston in that one?
Yes, Slumberg. Yeah, that's such a great movie. If you've not seen Office Space, I highly, highly recommend everyone to watch it because everyone's had bosses like that. Everyone's worked at a place like that where you're just kind of punching the clock and you're just thinking, when the fuck do I get out of here? Oh, it's so good. A guy loses. He's like, he doesn't want to do it anymore, so he doesn't give a shit. And because he doesn't give a shit, he gets all these opportunities. It's so good.
There was a movie that I watched on the plane when I was flying back last week, Horrible Bosses. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
Yes, I love Horrible Bosses.
I thought it was good. I'm a big Jason Bateman fan.
Me too.
I really like his stuff.
Who would have thought Spacey wasn't acting?
I know, right?
Yeah.
Spacey was true to character.
He's
He
a prick in
plays
that.
a great prick.
He's not acting, Kevin.
His brother said, he goes, that is not an act. That's exactly who Kevin Spacey is.
Damn.
He goes, he's not acting.
Yeah, he's good at being himself then. Showgirls, they said, box office bomb, actually pretty good movie.
It is not that good of a movie.
Okay.
It's good in the way
Yeah.
that I like movies. It's very cringy.
Yeah, they said $45 million budget, $20.4 million cleared from 1995. They put it on their list.
That almost, I think that did. I think that movie ruined her career. There was a lot of hype around that movie.
There was, yeah.
And then it shit
Well,
the
it was
bed.
more famous for being a bomb than it was anything else and how bad it was.
I mean, there's some hot scenes in there. Don't get me wrong.
Meet Joe Black. It was a Brad Pitt movie from 1998. $90 million budget, cleared $44.6 million. I saw that movie. He's so monotone and everything. It's so freaking boring. I did not love that movie.
Okay.
That made their list.
I think Denny's speaks highly of that movie.
Meet Joe Black.
Denny's?
Some people do.
You like Meet Joe Black? He does.
Okay,
He loves
does.
it.
All right. I could see a lot of Joe Black and Denny's. There might be something to that.
I don't think I've ever seen that movie.
I don't know. Maybe can we do Denny's and Brad Pitt side by side from that movie?
We can.
Denny's black?
Yeah, he does that thing where it's like, he's this dude, and it's like, I don't know.
Kevin is trashing
You're
your
trashing
movie.
Meet Joe Black?
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Yeah, he was. Brad Pitt was just like, it was so kind of like.
Well, I mean, he's in a foreign body. He's technically death. He takes the body of that guy because he caught the eye of Claire Florani.
Denny, spoiler, shit.
Oh, that movie's actually a remake of another movie called Death Takes a Holiday.
Yeah, there's like no emotion to it, and it's like.
Well, he's death. He's emotionless.
Kevin, he's death. Did you get that?
I get it.
I thought that movie was good. I used to have a big crush on Claire Florani as well.
Well.
The girl in it is hot. Yeah, I don't know if that's enough to watch it or not. But
How did this come up? What do you
I don't know.
bashing Meet Joe Black?
Kevin was just saying Denny's watch bitch ass movies.
Oh.
Whatever.
yeah, no, we were talking about box office bombs that are actually great. So, Meet Joe Black is one of the ones they put on the list.
Can you back me up on Office Space real quick?
That's what you guys don't like Office
No,
Space?
they haven't seen it.
Oh,
I
it's-
have.
Oh, okay. Virginia hasn't seen it.
That's an iconic movie of
I
its
loved it, yeah.
time.
Would Mags like it? Because I watch a lot of movies with Mags.
It's a
She's
little.
never
I mean,
been
it's
in the
a-
workforce.
Yeah, see, she's not gonna be able to relate to any of it.
And there's a part Lumberg fucked her.
Yeah,
probably not. I don't want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they show him reenacting it. Yeah.
So no.
Okay.
But that's an iconic movie of its time.
They say a couple other ones. The House. That's a new movie that Will Ferrell did, I think, with Amy Poehler. And something about they're sending their kid to college or something like that. Just came
Yeah.
out this last year. $40 million budget, grossed 25.6.
Ouch.
But they're saying it was a bomb and it was actually great. I don't know. That's what they say on this list. They also put The Lone Ranger for 2013. That was the Johnny Depp movie, right?
That got shitted all over by the
Yeah,
critics.
That
they
was
said it was
weak.
awful.
It wasn't very good.
Yeah, they've got some. This list isn't very good.
me and Dennis have a theory that the modern man and woman they don't want to see westerns anymore. That was a 1940s and 50s.
It was
kind of
such a
thing.
big trend back then. I think it burned out an entire generation of people.
Kevin, the West is dumb.
Well, I think people do think that though. I think. Do you like
There's a lot
watching
of good
westerns?
flicks.
The
No.
Wild Wild West is dumb.
No, in fact,
I
honestly,
like it.
It's cool. It's rugged.
I like it. Dennis.
I watched the HBO show Westworld, and I thought it was good, but I hated the freaking cowboy and Indian shit in it. And I was like, yeah,
Really, like Tombstone. Tombstone's one of the best movies ever.
I'm over it. I liked it in some of the old Clint Eastwood stuff. Like I'd watch
Hang
it, it
'em
was kind of
high,
cool. Yeah, but
Fistful of dollars.
I don't know. I'm over it. Like I'm not feeling Westerns
I'm
right
your
now.
Huckleberry. from Tombstone.
Okay.
I used
You're
to
not
love
going to win
Western.
us over with obscure lines from the movie.
Right.
So we have no context clue.
Oh, is that going to win you shitty quotes while someone else is talking? Oh, yeah.
Hey, that cup over there. Nothing?
Your Doc Holliday's
That,
out
dude,
there.
you sound
Hey,
just
You
like
sound
him.
just like
I
Val
did, yeah.
Kilmer doing
I
it.
You
did.
really did.
John Carter. I remember that movie from 2012. $263 million budget, and it grossed 73.1. I remember it was like a big high-tech thing. And the thing that I didn't realize the perspective on, remember how I got into Friday Night Lights and watched that a lot over like July and August before football season? It was that NBC show. Real cute kid in this thing. His name, he played the role of Tim Riggins in this movie, and he was just great. He really kind of almost carried it. He was kind of like the party boy, but the hot dude that still had a great heart, and like chicks were just melting for this guy. He came straight out of that show, and they put him in this John Carter, and kind of the same thing with what's her name from Showgirls. I mean, that was 5 years ago. It tanked, and I haven't seen Tim Riggins anywhere else. And I think they put him in this movie, invested all this money into him, thought he was going to be the next Brad Pitt, and nothing.
Yeah, that movie got shat on.
Big time.
You like him because he's got Rig in his name?
He's always pushing that rig agenda.
I am, yeah.
Riggins.
Other movies they say box office bombs, actually really great. The Insider from 1999, $90 million budget, grossed $29 million.
Ooh.
Idiocracy from 2006.
That one gained a cult following.
Yeah, especially with today's political climate. They say, what a movie is so ahead of its time.
I didn't see that one.
It's
Yeah.
got funny parts. It's a little over the top, I think, for you in some aspects.
Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh,
that is
solid
my
flick.
cut. I saw that back in the day. I think it was my first movie I ever went to a theater to.
It
that
was
makes sense.
$25 million budget. It grossed $11 million.
Oh man,
That's a solid flick.
That's a good movie. You ever see that one?
No, I don't think I've seen that one. It's Kurt
Russell.
Yeah, Kurt Russell.
Right, yeah. And then finally, Ali from 2001, $107 million budget. It grossed 58.2.
Ooh.
I wonder how.
It's actually a pretty good movie.
It is a good movie. It's actually a very good movie.
You wonder why that one didn't do better.
Yeah, I know. It have Will Smith, right?
Will
Yeah.
Smith and about a boxing legend. So
Yeah, I don't know how that
I
does.
wonder how much money Will got for that movie. And because keep in mind, if you have two major stars in something, that's probably half your budget, right?
Well, he might have done back end type stuff, and then he might have gotten screwed because he didn't take any money up front. Who knows? Sometimes a lot of actors will do that.
do that one of those Ben Kenobi deals where he signs 3% of all Star Wars merchandise
Sir Alec Guinness,
before it was even popular, and then he hit. I think I'm wrong on my stat, but he signed some contract where he got.
you talk about George Lucas?
No, I'm talking about Alec Guinness. He signed something where he got X amount of all Star Wars merchandise when no one else did that.
That's how Lucas made a lot of money too. That's why they joke about it in Spaceballs, saying it's all about advertising, marketing. That was a good
What
movie. That
voice
one's
was-
not on the list,
What
right?
voice was that?
It's supposed to be yogurt.
I love when Denny's does something and it's followed by silence.
Tiny.
It's yogurt's voice.
Yogurt.
I know what you're talking about.
Thank you,
Oh, I'm
Bird.
backing you up, man.
Thanks.
He's just backing way up.
Yeah.
He's backing out of here.
Backing way up.
Yeah, he's really got you.
Someone sent me an email about how we were playing Denny's clip the other day about him kind of free-forming and kind of lost the room, and they were very mad. They go, dude, I totally got what you're saying. They were making fun of us for being shallow and not getting as deep as
Yeah,
Denny's.
I saw that. Yeah, his beaver conversation.
I only brought up the noble beaver because of its weird routine that it builds. It alters its surroundings. That was the only reason I used it. But beavers, you could learn a lot from.
Yep, lost me again.
I didn't mean no, get out of here.
I've learned a lot from mine.
I can see you guys aren't taking this seriously.
Denny's, we have learned nothing.
I've learned to not bring her out so much.
What, your beaver? Is that? Oh, okay.
Keep it tucked away.
Bring out the beaver. I'm like, damn.
Sheila sent in an email. She said, I'm on board with Virginia. Don't sugarcoat it, girl. I see dogs in Publix that do not even have a service vest, and they probably aren't allowed to ask if it's a service animal or not. Go, Virginia. I'm pissy today, too.
I don't like when people say they're never gonna listen to us again because we said something they didn't like. What's the meaning behind that?
People are just soft, I think. They can't have a disagreement and still be friends. Really?
You're right, though.
You're soft.
You say a lot of shit I don't agree with. I mean, on the reg, and I still love you.
I still love you. You're wrong 99% of the time.
That's some bullshit. I have way higher of an accuracy of being right than you do.
I'd say about 40% of the time I want to fist fight you, but we're still friends. Like, come on. Get over it.
I think with everything, we all feel like we need a weapon. And
You're
that's
right.
what it is. And so if somebody wants to come in, they say, what is the weapon I've got? Oh, I'll never listen to you again.
She'll be back.
Well, people, I think, too, if it's important to them, they may laugh at something that they think is offensive. But when it attacks whatever they find important, I think people lash out on that. And I do the same shit.
Absolutely.
I do that, too.
Yeah, I just choose not to be soft on support animals. Sorry. Now, service animals, different. Those are medically necessary. And those, I think, are for specific conditions. Just because I'm sad, I should not be able to have my pit bull biting people at the airport.
Hey, what is this the sound of?
Emails coming in. Yeah. And I think there are some, and in fact, I thought I read a comment that somebody's saying that maybe sometimes the criteria for an emotional support animal actually sometimes is tougher than, so both categories, I'm confused by it, but I think there is a process and a procedure on how you get properly subscribed one of these animals, and that's, what should be happening. And if you do have an emotional support animal or a service animal, you would want people to not abuse the system and call it into question. Yeah.
And you've got to be able to see that that's who we're mad at.
Yeah.
If you legit have it and you legit have a medical condition, of course we don't want to take your animal away unless, of course, it's biting me at the airport. Then I got a problem.
I swear to you, one doctor brought that up to me about anxiety. They said, there's an option of service animals and stuff like that. And I'm like, no, thank you. It's just not for me.
No.
Mm-hmm. So, if you got it's all good. It's just, the more they attack people that are out in public, then the more people are going to be going, what? Why do you have this thing?
Oh, if I had a service animal, that fucker would attack somebody. I just know it. I just know
that's your luck.
That would be my luck. I'd be at the airport. It bites a drug cop.
A DEA cop?
Thank you. I couldn't think of it.
You know the messed up thing, though? Jay Bird's service animal would attack him in public, and this thing would be relentless.
Oh, my service animal's killing me.
I mean, it would mangle
It wouldn't
his
help
leg.
you at all.
It would. My service animal would run away.
People would be horrified.
I'd take out the trash and it would run out the door. It'd be fucked.
He's like, it always does this. It's normal.
See, we're having fun here. See, we're laughing.
Yeah, somebody said they're not arguing what you said, just upset about the way she said it.
I kind of had a feeling of that.
Yes.
Sorry, I have severe allergies. This is something very personal. When I'm sneezing and my eyes are watering on a flight, I'm like, son of a bitch, this woman doesn't even look like she needs this emotional support cat.
Don't get me wrong, I love V, especially when she's being saucy. Today, though, it was hard to watch on the ATS, and I had to turn the show off for the first time after she went off with the whole, fuck you, my allergies are more important thing. I get the whole getting fired up thing, but what she said about that listener was kind of fucked up and just plain mean. I have a different feeling about this whole show now because of how you guys will go after undeserving people sometimes. I know people are fuckfaces and deserve it mostly, but it just sucks to think that if we get seriously offended and we want to let you know, you'll just tear us apart on air and laugh. That could seriously fuck up someone who really looks up to you guys and needs your show to stay positive. I know she would never do this, but I really think that she should at least privately apologize to this girl in case she heard that. I know I'm pretty tough, but if that were me, that would absolutely ruin my day to hear my idols tear me down like that. So... Anyway, just an example to comment. I just think it was way too much. Go back and watch it, Ashley.
All right, I'll go back and watch it, and I'm not apologizing.
Okay.
All right. Well, someone's digging their heels in. My whole thing is, people can say shit.
We can say shit and still be friends. We don't have to decide that someone's opinion is going to end our friendship. And if that's the way you think, well, then party on. I think different.
I mean, yeah, you were harsh in the way you were saying things.
Yeah, because I feel very passionate about it.
Mm-hmm. I got to go because I can't keep up with the emails. I got too much other work I got to do.
Oh, I mean, it's
I know. yeah.
even the last 30 seconds got us at least 20 more.
But here's the thing, though. The people with the allergies, they're not typing in. The people that suffer, like myself, on an airplane through a whole flight because there's a cat next to me, those people aren't going to write in.
It's hard for people
They're just living their life. They're too busy to write in.
to sympathize with somebody with allergies. I have allergies too, man. They
Nobody
are
cares.
pretty awful.
Denny's, nobody cares about your allergies or my allergies.
Tell Virginia
It's true.
to shut the fuck up.
Signed, Kevin.
And Jaybird.
I want to leave.
Kevin wants off this train.
All right, we'll see y'all later. Goodbye.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems, ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.